Go.
So what happens in fertilization, well, you first have the mature ovary, and that's made of humus cells that surround the ovary, the zona pellucida, which is like outside of the ovary, and it's like a barrier, and then the cortical granules that are inside the ovary. And so the first thing that happens is the sperm, which is made, or well, it's a sperm, and it burrows through the cumulus cells and reaches the zona pellucida. And then the second thing that happens is
this the zona pellucida or is it the?
It's like in
the
between.
dash line. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's in that area.
Yeah. So then what happens is there's this thing called an acrosomal reaction, and what that is the sperm cell has like this pocket of what's it? Pocket of like proteases.
Okay.
Yeah. And what happens is when it touches the zona pellucida, it releases all these proteases, and it starts burrowing through the zona pellucida. So it starts burrowing through, and it penetrates it. And then the next major thing that happens is the fusion of the plasma membranes of the embryo, or the ovary and the sperm. And once they fuse, they do this whole reaction. There's a whole signal transduction pathway that occurs.
Do we need to know it?
Yeah, and actually, I'll draw that later.
Okay.
Or, well, that was on the last exam. I'm not too sure how exactly you have to know it, but I'll draw it next. So they fuse, there's this thing that happens, and that has to do with the cascade of calcium. And one of the major things that it does is it releases the stuff inside the cortical granules. And what that does is removes the glycosylation of the zone of proteins in the zona pellucida, which is what the sperm recognizes. And it also, and with that, prevents multiple sperm entry. And then the next step is the pronuclei of the sperm enters the ovary, and then there's also another pronuclei inside the ovary. And once that enters, then the second polar body forms, and that's what turns what was originally 2N inside the ovary into 1N. And so the two 1N nuclei fuse to make a 2N embryo.
Okay.
And then that's it, like, for fertilization.